So, Tomorrow We Escape is the third studio album by American punk rap duo Ho99o9 Horror. It was released on September 9th, 2025. Eric, your thoughts on this album, which I feel like both of us don't really have any experience with this band in the past.
I have never heard of this band before, ever. And I have to say, I have never heard anything like this album ever.
Okay, okay. That's
So,
exciting.
I mean, it started off interesting. Like it said, so you said it was punk hip hop
Yeah,
or
punk
punk rap,
rap, punk hip hop, yep.
punk rap. So the way Apple Music defines it as metal.
Oh no.
So when I was going in there, I was like, "Oh, this is a metal band." and,
Yeah,
and when I
that's the
started
wrong
listening
genre.
to it, I was like, "Okay, so it's metal mixed with like rap or hip hop." And then
Hmm.
I'm like, so then like the first song, "I Miss Home," it was kind of like obviously I could see these hip hop, like it's like
Influence,
every
yeah.
other hip hop album. It's like, they have like their theme to the album, and
Hmm.
I was like, okay, this is cool. This is total hip hop
Hmm.
or rap style. And then it goes into Escape, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna really like this album. This sounds sick. Like it's like it's punky,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, I wouldn't say it's metal. And then like I listened to the rest of the album, and I was like, this is interesting. Why is it classifying it as metal?
Yeah, that's definitely the
So
wrong classification for this band. Like metal is not, there's no element of metal in here. It's definitely way more punk.
yes. I have to say, there were songs I did not like on this album.
Okay.
I I wasn't a fan of. I think lyrically, and I think it was either Target Practice or Okay I'm Reloaded. Hang on, let me just pick up
Oh, okay.
the lyrics here.
I liked Okay, I'm Reloaded just because it was so strange. It was such a strange song that I was like, oh, this is like really like, it surprised me. It surprised, this whole album surprised me, to be honest. So that was nice, because like a lot of times when I listen to
Mhm,
like new stuff, I'm like, okay, I know where you're going with this, and there's no element of like, newness to it. But a
mhm.
lot of this, I was like, okay, you got me here.
I go you. So you loved it.
I loved it, but I also hated it. This It's so weird because it's so strange of an
Oh, maybe
album.
it was.
Sonically, it is like, it's new. It's just like there's no reference point for a lot of this for me. Like obviously there's
Mhm,
elements that I'm like, oh yeah, this is like hip hop, this is a bit of trance, this is a bit of dubstep in there. But like the combination
mhm.
of everything, I'm just like, oh shit, this is new stuff.
Yeah, I think it was Target Practice.
Okay,
Target
okay.
Practice was the one where I was like, the lyrics are like, I'm like, okay, like we're just saying a bunch of like, ass, shit, fuck, like over and over and over again. So it was kind of like, okay, like I get it.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't really like the mix of the trance and the trap music. I'm not a
Oh,
fan of that.
okay.
So,
Interesting.
um, I mean, there were songs that I did like on this. Like, I really liked. I thought "Tapeworm" was a cool song.
Oh,
Um,
okay. We have to
it
come back to
was
tapeworm, but keep going.
it was super hardcore punk,
Yeah.
and it kind of reminded me of a new age, like old school, like Bad Brains, but
Oh,
they played
yes.
in like modern time with like modern style music, which I thought was cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Immortal was good with Chelsea Wolfe.
Mm.
And but Escape was my favorite song,
Okay.
definitely on this album for sure.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Going back to Tapeworm, it features Greg Puciato. I don't
Yeah,
remember how.
who's he from?
So he is the one of the lead singers of the Dillinger Escape Plan, which
Yes,
is one of
okay. I
my.
recognize the voice.
Oh, he's so good. So Dillinger
Yeah.
Escape Plan is one of my favorite bands of all time. He was the last singer of that band. Probably the more famous one, I would say. But like Oh my god, when I heard his voice on this track, I was just like, this is amazing. I love this. Tapeworm was like probably my favorite song just because of the feature. It was so good.
Mhm.
But Immortal with Chelsea Wolf, oh, it was that was a good like it was a weird 360 where I was like, okay, it completely changed mood, but it somehow fit. I was like, okay, that's pretty
Mhm.
cool. Um, and then LA Riots right after it was like just straight up like punk riffage, and I was just like, this is so good. I can't believe all of this is on this album. It like
Mhm. I was very surprised at how short the album was, coming in at 11 songs,
punk. It's that punk
which I
album.
which makes sense because
Yeah.
like I was like, this sounds more punk, but it's saying, and I just couldn't get over the metal part of
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, what's metal about
Yeah,
this?
there's nothing
What is
metal about
metal
it.
about this?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's so
So
punk. Yeah.
they it has definitely been mislabeled, but I do agree with you. Like I feel like I'm not a fan of this album, but there were times where I was listening to it where I was like, you know what, maybe I do like it.
Right.
And then I just I almost felt like it was like I couldn't make up my mind. And usually with albums like this, I always come around to liking it, and
Mm-hmm.
it takes me a few more listens
Mm-hmm.
to get it in. So I'm definitely intrigued on what these guys are doing,
Mm-hmm.
because it's I've never heard, like I said, I've never heard anything like this
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
so it was like my ears were virgin to this style here. So
Yeah, and that's like I in my bones, I'm like I'm definitely like I love this album. I for sure
mhm,
love this album. But then in my brain, I'm like, what's going on? Do I like this or not? I can't tell because there's just so
mhm,
many elements that I'm just like, how did you think about combining these together? Like there's no
mhm.
blueprint for this type of music because it's quintessentially them, but it is like it's just an amalgamation of so many genres. It's
Yeah,
just like this I think sounds good, but I can't tell if it sounds good.
I would love like I'm intrigued that I would love to actually listen to these guys in an interview and just to
Mm,
see where their influences are, like you said. Like
yeah,
because there's like how do you think of making like putting this together?
yeah.
Right? It's almost like a chef, like a Michelin star chef combining ingredients that nobody would ever think of,
Yeah, 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 for sure.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole album took you for a ride, right? Like I Miss Home, which is the opening track, was like just a moody like hip hop
Mhm,
just a a loungy sort of intro to the album, and then it just like hits you hard with like just some punk riffage, and then it throws in
mhm.
some like trance and like dubstep. There was one song I can't remember exactly, but I was when I was listening to it in my headphones, I was like, I don't really care for this. And then I listened to it in the car, and it just like boosted the bass, and I was like, this dubstep sounds so cool.
See, I can't stand dubstep. I just can't stand it. I do have to make note. And it always kills me. I always find it fascinating the names of these like hip hop artists or rap artists. Like Pink Sifu
Mm,
is okay, but I like the Young Skirt.
skirt, yeah,
Skirt.
skirt.
Yeah, it's just like it's hilarious. You just have to misspell like words. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, like, man, there's so much. This is the type of album where if you're doing yourself a disservice if you only listen to it once and try to make an opinion on it. This is an album where you really have to like you listen to it a multiple times and then you form an opinion because like you
mhm,
come out even though it's a short album, you come out of it just being like, what did I just listen to?
mhm. This is definitely not an album for like your top 40 listeners or your
Oh,
common folk.
yeah,
Like you said, you have to listen to this a few times in order to kind of grasp what's happening here,
yeah,
because I can see a lot of people listening to this album and being like, "What the fuck did I just listen to?" And then they just move on and forget
yeah,
about it,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. This is an
So,
album like it's not for casual listening. It is like
mhm.
You are focusing on what's going on and trying to
Mhm.
decipher what you just
Yeah.
listened to.
Which is kind of cool because as like a musician, like I had a conversation with a friend of mine a few days ago. We were talking like he's starting to learn how to play the guitar, and
Mm.
he's been taking lessons from like an 80s metal guy, like
Oh,
so he's
nice.
very like 80s metal driven
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
style music, and then he comes over to me and I'm like blues jazz.
Mm.
So he's like, oh, it's kind of cool to see these influences, and I'm like, that's what music's about,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You get together with people, jam with different influences, and it's let's see what you create. And
Mm-hmm.
this is definitely that to the extreme, which is cool, right? And
Yeah,
that's what music is, and I admire that.
yeah,
I admire that.
yeah, for sure. All right, Eric. Final thoughts and ratings. What are you gonna give this album?
I right now, I feel like at the end review it is going to change,
Mm.
but right now I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10
Okay.
because I don't know where I stand with it. I can tell you when I first listened to it, I was like, "What the f did did we pick for this week?" But the more I listened to it, the more it kind of was like these like things that I hadn't heard in the song. I was like, "I didn't hear that last time. That's
Mm.
interesting." Um, so like it's definitely growing.
Mm.
So
No, 5 out of 10
so it's
is
like an
yeah.
it's like an undecided 5 out of 10.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like I
Mhm.
definitely I can imagine a lot of people listening to this. It's just like this is trash. This is like a 0 out of 10 album, just because it's such a difficult listen. But there,
Mhm.
like, once you get dive into it, there's so many layers to it, and it's not proggy. Like, I definitely wouldn't say this is like, like
Oh, no.
a Pink
No, no,
Floyd
no.
type of thing where it's just like layers on layers of just like instrumentation. This is very simple
Mhm.
instrumentation, but it's the amalgamation of different elements that makes it like very complex. So for me, like I know I love this album, but my mind still says like I haven't really caught up with it. But I'm gonna give it a 9 on this album. Just
Wow.
because I really appreciate that there is music out there that is being created where I'm like I don't know where it's going next. Because we listen to so much music, right? And the country stuff, the blues stuff, the rock stuff. It's always like first chorus, bridge. Like I
Mhm.
get where you're going. I know the next note you're gonna play before you even before you play it. Like I could predict all these things,
Mhm.
and it's just like it's sort of boring. Whereas this one, I was like, all right, let's buckle up. I don't know where we're going. Let's do this, right? So I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. So I'm going to give it a 9. I don't know where I'm going to sit with this at the end of the year, but I'm going to give it a 9 just because I really enjoyed the ride of like not knowing what's next.
This is definitely the most unique album we've listened to on this show,
Mm. Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
Anyways, that was our discussion on Tomorrow We Escape by Horror. Um, Man, difficult listen, but it's so worth it. I would definitely
And
recommend.
Apple Music, like, you gotta change that metal because I can see metalheads, like it even looks like a metal album cover too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I just look at this and I was like, "Where's the double bass? Where's that dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
where's the
dun, dun."
riffage? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I was, like, waiting for all that, and I was like, I did not get that at
Yep,
all.
yep.
Mhm,
But anyways, to do a complete U-turn, the album
mhm.
that we're going to be discussing next time, for those of you who are following along with us every single week, is going to be the brand new Ed Sheeran album, Play.
This is hilarious.
So this album just came out. Ed Sheeran's back with a brand new album. So this is a complete opposite direction of what we just listened to. But let's see.
Ugh.
Let's see how this goes. I know we slagged the whole Ed Sheeran singing in Punjabi, but you know,
Hey, You know what? Maybe it'll be something unique like this album.
Yeah, maybe within
Probably not.
context, it makes sense
Yeah.
somehow.
Yes.
All right. Anyways, that is the podcast for another week. We're here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast. Every 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT on Mondays. We'll be back here Monday also. Catch us on Apple Music, Spotify, all the places where you get your podcasts. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will catch you all next time.